Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. I have an update to share on one of Trump's Capitol terrorists. It's time for an episode of Where Are They Now?
Matthew Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
So Jeffrey Grace is a 62-year-old man from Washington State. He went to D.C. and inside the Capitol on January 6th, along with his son, Jeremy Grace. And he admitted in interviews that he saw people destroying property. He confirmed to the FBI that he witnessed people damaging things inside the building, that the officers looked overwhelmed and scared. He even told the FBI that he confronted another Capitol terrorist and took a metal pipe away from this person. But he also appears to have lied. So for as much truth as he told, he also seems to have lied to the FBI and basically admitted it in another interview because he told the FBI that he and his son had gotten separated. So he alone entered the Capitol. He told them, oh no, my son didn't enter. We got separated. I went in. He wasn't in there, blah, blah, blah. He also said that he didn't take any photos or videos that day. And he also denied being a member of the Proud Bigots. Well, as you would probably guess, videos and photos surfaced showing both he and his son inside the Capitol. In fact, in one photo, which I shared in the video short that I created on him, he's seen in a photo with his son inside the Capitol making the white supremacist hand gesture. And the FBI was also able to recover videos that he himself took both inside and outside the Capitol, which he tried to delete, by the way, on January 8th. And one of the videos shows Grace marching to the Capitol with a group of Proud Boys. And the government contends that he's an active member of that group, even though he denies it. So Grace was arrested on February 4th. He was likely going to be one of those people who attended January 6th, but didn't cause any damage or didn't take part in any violence. So he was probably looking at probation, no real consequences, because he was charged with those typical 4 misdemeanors that we've seen over and over again. Although they did offer him a plea agreement and he refused to take it. So his case may be on a different track. And there's another reason for that as well. Apparently, he hasn't learned any lessons. He was arrested, he lost his job, and he just hasn't learned anything from it because he's been taking to the streets with weapons. He's also been involved in physical altercations with people while hanging around with the Proud Bigots. In addition, he may have violated his pre-trial release conditions because he traveled to other states, and it's unclear at this point if he had permission to do so. So here's the deal. According to prosecutors, somewhere around July 20th through the 22nd, Grace traveled from Washington, where he lives, to the U.S.-Mexico border in El Paso, Texas. With him, he carried a weapon. And basically, from what he says, it appears that he did this to stop immigrants from crossing the border into the U.S. Not his job, but there you go. In addition, Grace apparently traveled to Portland, Oregon recently, on the weekend of August 7th and 8th to fight Antifa. And he didn't try to hide it. He posted a video on Instagram saying, quote, "I went down in support of a pastor's right to speak. We did perimeter security." So later in the video, he held up his fists and he said, quote, "People say you can't fight Antifa with these. Well, guess what? You can." So Christian-like. So the pastor to which he's referring, by the way, is Artur Pawlowski, I believe is how you pronounce it. He is well known for his anti-mask and anti-LGBTQ views. This guy even blamed homosexuality for floods in Alberta, Canada. So, yeah, methinks he doth protest too much, if you know what I mean. I have no proof, but yeah, typically the case. But of course, the proud bigots were there to support this nutcase because birds of a feather. But anyway, Pulowski's events not only attract people like that, but they also attract counter protesters, as you would imagine, including Antifa at times. And so Grace showed up to this event with weapons, and he was caught on camera at this event. Now, if you're on YouTube, you can see the two photos. I'm showing them to you on your screen of Grace carrying these weapons. For those of you listening on the podcast, one photo shows Grace in the back of a truck with other right-wing extremist nut jobs who also have no life, apparently. And Grace is holding some sort of stick, or it's a baton. The second photo shows him with a handgun. And these photos were both taken just this month, like I said, in Portland, Oregon, where he traveled to. So prosecutors filed a motion requesting that Grace be banned from possessing any kind of weapons, which to me is totally inadequate, but I'll get to that in a minute. In the court filing, they wrote, quote, "In Portland, Grace also appeared to carry a black baton, and at another event, possibly on August 8, Grace wore a helmet while carrying what appears to be a can of chemical irritant and a wood-colored baton. In Portland and El Paso, Grace engaged in what appeared to be pre-planned confrontations with individuals. In Portland, Grace described those as Antifa members, and in El Paso, he described them as illegal immigrants crossing the border from Mexico. Given this troubling escalation, the government recommends that the court modify the defendant's conditions of release and order that he not possess a firearm, destructive device, or other weapon." Now, in addition to this photo evidence, this photographic evidence against Grace, there's also a video that made the rounds on social media, and it shows Grace and another group of men, not just one, but a group of men surrounding one individual standing by himself. And they hurl homophobic slurs, sexist slurs, then they physically assault him before he walks away. So take a look.
Yeah, you little faggot holding the fucking camera. Yeah, you're a little fucking loser. Get your ass out of here. Get your ass out of here. Get your ass out of here. Get your ass. Go. Go. Get back. Get back. Get out of here. It's time to go. It's time to go, bro. Time to go. Time to go. Time to go. Yep, time to go, bro. Time to go, bro.
Get the fuck out of here.
You want to hurt women and children, bro? Time to go, bro. Time to go, bro. Bye. See ya, bro. See ya. See ya, pussy. Bye. Bye. See ya. See ya, buddy. See ya. Where's your boys at? Yeah, nowhere to be found, you fucking pussy.
Now, the government's motion asking for him to be banned from possessing weapons cites this specific video. They state that Grace can be seen shoving a man. And can we just talk about this video for a second? I mean, the fact that these people, and I use that term loosely, are calling this one lone guy a pussy when they're all clearly walking testicles who have to travel in a pack and carry weapons to feel tough and brave. It is just quintessential extremist right logic. Yeah, he's a pussy for standing up to a group of armed lunatics who have nothing better to do with their lives, apparently, than to run around scared with guns and then follow their dear leader, Donald Dump, off of a cliff. But, you know, you're so strong, you're so courageous for attacking an unarmed man, an individual unarmed man, when you have what? I mean, how many people were there in that video? 6 to 10 armed pieces of shit backing you up? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you guys are so tough. Yeah, he's the pussy. Mm-hmm. And like I say, that's actually a compliment. Our vaginas are very tough. It's the testicles that really, like, you barely flick it. So they're a bunch of walking testicles. And maybe he is a pussy. He seemed pretty tough there. seemed to stand up to those guys pretty well. He didn't run. Anyway, it's all projection with these terrified, proud, bigot little boys. They're so pathetic. They would never stand up to someone one-on-one like that. Never in a million years. But anyway, the judge has ordered and ruled that Grace must turn over his weapons as soon as possible. Grace went on his YouTube channel, and at first he seemed cool with it. He said, oh, it's not a big deal. I'm going to get my weapons back. But then he starts whining and complaining about it. He goes on to say, quote, "You're going to poke at me. You're going to pick at me. Is it because I'm not taking a plea deal? Is it because I'm not rolling over? Is it because I'm not submitting to the lousy left?" So ridiculous. This is the guy who went on an interview shortly after all of the violence came out that occurred at the Capitol and said, oh, if I contributed to that in any way, then I feel bad. Now he's puffing out his chest. Now he has a different stance about it because he sees all these people are getting slaps on the wrist. They're not getting jail time. They're getting ridiculous probation sentences. And then, but it gets better. He goes on to prove his profound ignorance after 62 years on the planet by saying that he contacted his attorney after this order came through for him to relinquish his weapons. And he told his attorney that he wants to have the prosecutor removed from his case because, quote, "she is obviously biased, racist, unprofessional, and left." Racist. Racist?
You keep using the word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Yeah, I do not think it means what he thinks it means. Grace said she's racist against Americans. I'm not even joking. He said, quote, "racist against Americans. Hello, people who love the flag." Does he know what race means? Oh my God. Ignorance is painful. So here's my question. Here's one of my questions that I've had for a while now. Why are these people not being charged with obstruction of justice or at least lying to the FBI? The only one case so far that I've seen after profiling, over 200 of these people, was the one false statement charge of the guy. He was a DEA agent here in California. Why is no one else being hit with that charge? Even Grace said, I think it was on his YouTube channel or somewhere, he expected to be charged for lying to agents because he literally lied. So the government is setting so many dangerous precedents with this BS. They're showing these extremists, you don't have to be honest when it comes to the FBI knocking on your door and interviewing you for a crime you may have committed. You don't have to abide by the law whatsoever, even if you've been charged with a federal crime. You don't have to comply with your pretrial release conditions because, what are we going to do? We're going to act like Susan Collins. We're going to, tisk, tisk, tisk. We're going to wave a finger at you. We're going to say we're very disappointed in you. But we're going to give you another chance because we think you learn your lesson, just like Susan Collins thought with Trump. Yeah. They're like the parents who are too lazy to get their asses up off of a sofa to discipline their children. They're like the 1, 2, 2.25, 2.5. I mean it. You're going to be in trouble. Don't make me say 3. Don't make me get up. It's a joke. It's a total joke. This guy was arrested, lost his job, and instead of being repentant, instead of realizing, hey, maybe I made a bad life choice, instead he's out literally roaming the streets with a gun, physically assaulting unarmed people, by the way, in another state. And the best that the government prosecutors can do, the best the judge can do, is say, okay, we're going to take away your guns for now. You can have them back later. And we've seen how that works. Some of these people, yeah, they had their guns taken away and they've gone and ordered dozens more. I literally reported on one of those like a couple weeks ago. I know I don't have to state the obvious, but I'm going to anyway. If Grace was a person of color, if this was a Black man, he would be back in jail and he would stay there until his trial. You cannot tell me otherwise. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely insane. How they're handling these people with kid gloves is sickening. It is so infuriating. And it's going to come back and it's going to bite all of us because all they're doing is teaching them there are no consequences. Do whatever the hell you want. Try to overthrow the government. Literally try to take part in a coup to take away the votes of everybody else, of millions and millions more people than you. Try to steal their votes away. Try to break into Congress, terrorize official members of Congress, people who were elected in this country and represent everyone because you didn't like the results of an election. Yeah. But then these people wander around going, oh, what about the riots last summer? Oh, well, if you guys want to set up a YouTube channel and profile all the people who took part in the riots last summer, go for it. Have at it. Be my guest. Good luck to you. Have fun with that. And they also are comparing apples to oranges. Black people are killed in this country. Unarmed Black people are killed on a daily basis in this country for no reason. The election wasn't stolen. Apples and oranges. One is a real thing. One is a fake thing that you had to allow yourself to believe because your egos wouldn't allow you to understand and comprehend the facts that no, you were conned. You were fooled by one of the greatest con artists, one of a lifelong con artists in the world. A guy who has literally lied to every single person he's ever known, including his 3 wives. You got conned by him. Accept it. One's real, one's fake. Black people are actually dying. There's a reason to go out and protest that. Election wasn't stolen. 61 court cases, all laughed out of court. No evidence. Just like Mike Lindell's phony symposium the other day. No evidence. His own person said it. Anyway, guys, I will let you know what happens. I can't imagine that this guy is all of a sudden going to straighten up and fly right, but we'll see. Maybe coming back with another update. All right. Take care. Thanks for watching and listening. I'll talk with you soon.